bros, welcome back to Just Us Bros podcast. And after 5 years, Tom Holland has returned to the screen as Spider-Man. And of course, I'm Hokey Joker.
I'm Chet You Betcha.
Spider-Man.
Redbeard.
And guys, who here has seen Spider-Man Brand New Day? Perfect. And I think everyone else in America has also seen Spider-Man Brand New Day. But today we're going to talk about it. Maybe you agree with us, maybe you don't. But first off, Tom Holland. I feel bad for the guy. That Peter Parker, so sad.
Okay.
Well, that tracks with every Spider-Man portrayal and him in the comics. I don't think there's ever been a story where I don't feel bad for Peter Parker, but also I can relate to him. But
Yep.
Yeah.
But he is chiseled.
It's a great movie that I really had a lot of fun. Actually, I'm not going to even say fun. All the beats hit emotionally right where it's supposed to feel on you. I will say, based off the movies we've seen in the past, I had more fun with Masters of the Universe, but felt more grounded and meant more. It had definitely hit more in the feels than other movies this year. So, what are some of the biggest takeaways for you guys from this movie?
I really liked the cinematography of the movie. I almost felt like I was playing one of the Sony Spider-Man games, like
Yeah.
some of the shots.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't know it at the time. Some of the like action scenes were straight out of the comics, which I've seen other videos that showed that afterwards. I was like, I thought I recognized that. Like
Like
where
Spider-Man carrying the guy.
Yep.
like he's carrying the guy, and then Scorpion when he's got the tail, and then when he rams that other guy's head into the brick wall, like all those were comic covers.
Tarantula. Yeah.
Yeah, so I liked that kind of like nod to things, and then just the overall when he's web spinning, like even the first person view when he has Mary Jane both times he has her, like you're seeing it from a first person view as he's swinging, and it made me feel like video games, which I'm a big fan of video games. So first impressions were I like that.
Well, I'll start off with a rating for this movie. I did enjoy it. You did get emotional. I would give it an 8 out of 10 only because it's been what you said 5 years since the last movie came out, where I was still connected to the characters, but at the same time, it really felt like, you know, a long time since I was with them. That I think that if this movie was out like 2 years, the last movie, what was the last movie? No Way Home. If that had come out like 2 years ago instead of damn near 5 years ago, I think the emotional beats would have hit harder for me. They still hit because I mean I'm still invested with the characters, but at the same time, I'm just like, wow. I really feel like I would have felt that more if the last movie came out sooner. But not to say that this movie wasn't good, because I did enjoy it. I did like it. I just wish that they were not have had to have like a 5 year gap between the movies.
Well, Spider-Man's my favorite hero in the Marvel universe anyway. So I'm with everybody else. It felt really familiar, comfortable. It did have a couple of plot points that didn't make a lot of sense. The bad guy in it turned out to be,
The same as the Thunderbolts.
yeah, it was. I'm with Bat Drew. It's about an 8 for me. Um, as far as all the cinematography goes, you're right. Every scene that hit was a cover, and you're like, wait a minute, I remember that. Why do I remember that? And then you pay attention, and it's like, oh crap, that's exactly what it was. So I thought it was a fun time. I really did.
Yeah, and I think I really did enjoy it, but my critical small brain was thinking like it's hard for me in a world of so many spoilers and so many fan theories and everything going on. Like this same Spider-Man went to space. He's fought Thanos. He fought in this big battle, but this felt like small potatoes, like very small. Like it feels like he's the character that's bigger than this. And so I think that's a little bit of the tonal problem sometimes. There was no real problem, but me just thinking like he's fought Thanos, but he's having trouble with that. Of course I really liked it, and I do like the 5 year gap between the last movie because it's sort of we progressed with Zendaya and Ned and all of them. Well, sorry, MJ and Ned. So we're sort of in the same boat as them. Um, but I agree with you guys. But I will say there's some highlights of this and some lowlights. biggest highlight for me is it's the Punisher. Like he was so much fun. I mean that's my biggest highlight. Other characters not named Spider-Man, but yeah. What about for you guys? Bat Drew, who do you think was a highlight for you?
Well, obviously, spoiler alert, Sadie Sink's character, I really think she did take the third act. But I agree with you. I did like Punisher too, because Jesus Christ, John Barenthal is the Punisher. Like every scene he was in, he commanded the screen, but also didn't take away from anything that he was doing interaction with whoever he was on the screen with. And and I guess one scene that really got me, well, okay, two scenes involved the Punisher. Was when Jean took him over and she was him, but Punisher was not Punisher. It was when you see the movie, you understand that Jean was the Punisher. It was strange, but it was also funny at the same time.
Man, this guy's got issues.
I'm assuming the second one would be him carrying Spidey into the hospital.
Well, that
Or
was
the
that was an emotional hit that hit because that was also a scene from the comics. But him when he was what VMAX just did when he was
oh,
pretending to be
oh, oh.
Spider-Man and the Punisher grunt, that was funny too.
I agree with the Punisher. I felt like, is there something I don't know about Staten Island? Did that happen in another show or something, or is that just something they were like?
I think that's just something they referenced for the movie because he's
Okay,
never this is the
because
first time they've interacted on screen.
it
I would say.
brought back big why is Thor crying vibes. Like, I don't know, why is he crying? What happened on Staten Island? Like, I felt like that was a little detracting because they kept mentioning something, and it's like, did this happen and I missed it? Like, but I thought the Punisher was good. Um, I was glad to see Mark Ruffalo back as Hulk. I'm sure we can dive into that a little bit more as well. I did not watch any trailers, spoilers, anything, so I didn't know. I did not know the Punisher was going to be in it. I did not know Hulk was going to be in it. I knew none of the rumors about Sadie Sink being Jean Grey, other than what you guys discussed in the car. And I'm like, shut up, shut up. But no, I just, as far as steal the show, I don't think anybody took, for me. I don't feel like anybody took the light from Spider-Man. I feel like it was, even though you had X, Y, and Z also in the movie, it was a Spider-Man movie, and it felt like that through and through, which I appreciated. Again, almost like for comparison, the Spider-Man TV show where he joins the Avengers and he's got a team that he's working with and whatever. It felt like that. Like each episode, there's like a support character, an assist character, but it's still ultimately a Spider-Man story, and I like that.
I love the Punisher, but for me, it was getting a comic accurate Hulk. I don't know if you noticed, but he got bigger the matter he got,
Yep.
which is what happened in the comics. So that made me happy. No more smart ass Dr. Hulk or whatever the hell he was called. Smart Hulk. I'm not the biggest fan of Mark Ruffalo, but I thought he did a really good job in this movie. You know, leading into the neutralization device discussion and all that. I mean, it sounded like he kind of knew what he was talking about finally.
Yeah. And
And I
as
feel
far
like there's larger repercussions. We could talk about that again, but I feel like there's a lot larger repercussions now that that technology exists.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's
I feel like it's gonna show up again.
oh yeah, that's definitely going to lead into any sort of X-Men
yep.
property that they do. But as far as lowlights go, I think there was a couple of them. I mean, just makes you feel so sad for Peter Parker. But I do think that story-wise, Zendaya, when he sneaks into the party, he sees MJ, and then she's got a boyfriend who has one scene, doesn't even get a name, and it's supposed like it. I'm not sure what they were going for when they were talking about it, but it's like, yeah, she does have a boyfriend, but she doesn't really, because maybe it's just Peter being like, I don't want to know, but it's not really addressed. And then I know this was gonna happen, but you just feel for her, and maybe that's what I'm calling it low. And when she reads the note and she's like, "I don't love you," and it's like, oh, no, but that was it for me. Was that nothing was really bad in this movie. It just my critical thinking was like, but what about, what about, what did you think about the addressing of MJ's boyfriend? Because
Do you know who played MJ's boyfriend?
no,
That was Ezra Bridger from Ahsoka.
oh,
Bless you.
Bridgerton, gotcha.
Yep,
I was gonna say Bridgerton as well.
But what lowlights did you think there were, Flashman?
the third act.
Was it just slow or
No, it's the fact that we had Gene going psycho. I'm going to kill to get what I want, and then it turns into you're not a bad person. You can control this. Blah blah blah. Talk down. No big fight sequence. No big like there were no repercussions for what she did.
like the Thunderbolts?
Yeah, exactly like Thunderbolts.
She got defeated by Aunt May,
Yeah, basically.
a memory of Aunt May.
Yeah.
Which I'm not knocking that because Aunt May was a pivotal whatever in Peter's life, but it felt like a cop out a little
Yeah.
bit.
But also I think that her not having any repercussions yet, I'm gonna say yet, because I think maybe for the next X-Men movie, that's what they're gonna base this off of. I mean, like mutants are dangerous. You see what happened. Remember, they weren't in Staten Island. Damn, I was gonna say, but wherever that happened, like you remember what happened? Mutants are dangerous. We need to control them. And coming back to what GL was talking about, I think a lot of things from this movie are going to play factors in an upcoming X-Men film. So yeah,
I mean,
Well-
at least we got a movie and not a damn series on Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one unanswered question that I had was where is Spider-Man getting his money from? Because he bought a lot of flowers.
Tony
left
Stark.
him. Tony left him a fund.
But
Yeah.
nobody remembers who Peter Parker is.
That doesn't matter if he'd already done it and said it.
Even
I
if
was-
people
I
don't
was-
remember who he
He knows who
is,
Spider-Man is. Everybody knows
Yeah.
Spider-Man. They just don't
and
know.
he still has the bank account registered to whatever.
Yeah.
I was actually also going to say that because remember way back when we introduced him in Civil War, how he had the YouTube videos of people like doing stuff. Maybe he started uploading YouTube videos, got monetized because it got so many views because Spider-Man, people want to see that, which we'll be at one day, right?
That would be awesome if people could like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah,
It
and
helps.
share.
Whip that button.
Oh my god!
But that's another thing from the games, the Spidey tracker and like the telecoms and stuff, and he's got like the what do they call it? The man behind the person or whatever, the man behind
Oh,
the
man in the
computer.
chair.
The man in the chair, yeah. Like in the games he's got that. Looks like Ned's getting ready to take that role back over again.
Well, that app was basically pulled straight out of Spider-Man 2.
100%.
So
Yeah. So that brings up a good point. At the end, the awesome bro handshake. Does Ned finally remember Peter's Spider-Man?
I think his body does. I don't think his mind does.
Like,
Yeah.
do we think it's like because leading up, like MJ called him Peter, and Ned's like, "Oh, Spider-Man's real name is Peter," and then Link's like, "Oh, you're Spider-Man," or like, was it a realization of, "Oh my God, Peter"? Like, it all came flooding back.
No. I think it was
I'm-
muscle
I'm-
memory.
I'm gonna say yes to muscle memory for him remembering the handshake, but then also I think Jean Grey may have affected the memory spell for at least Peter and Ned.
Maybe.
Like it didn't completely wipe it out, but I think it like cracked it because also going back to she did possess Hulk too, and then eventually Smart Hulk couldn't even contain, Savage Hulk anymore, and he came back out. I think that was probably because Punisher shot him in the head so many damn times, but also I think because Jean being in there might have cracked some walls. So I'm gonna say that no, Ned and MJ do not completely 100% remember exactly everything, but I think they're possibly starting to piece things together again because Jean was in their heads for a little bit.
Not unless something. I think it's more like Josh or Flashman said, muscle memory, like that doing some ninjutsu, like triggered muscle memory. But I don't think it was because again Jean Grey made fun of Peter when she did the kiss, which was one of the most evil things she could have done. And then pretending like she knew him was like Peter, and then there's no memory of you in here whatsoever. Like just completely crushing him. and they made a fact of saying true love's kissed or physical touch or whatever is not going to just magically bring back the memories or erase the spell. So, and I would say it's muscle memory unless, like that Drew said, Gene being in there unlocked like a portion of the memories and it's slowly starting to seep out. But I think Ned was more logical putting two and two together that, oh, Spider-Man was in our apartment and she called him Peter. Now you're saying your name's Peter and you're acting like you know me and we know the secret handshake.
Yeah, and I did like how with Ned's board, it was like, oh yeah, he saved us a lot in high school, and then but there's that disconnect of like he saved us a lot, but we didn't know him. Like you wouldn't question that. Like I know we think like, do you remember that person we went to school with? I remember. And it bugs you a little bit. So I feel like it would
Yeah.
be the same thing for them. But
Well, even with Mary Jane asking, she's like, did we go to school together? Do I know you? Did we grow up together? Like, how? Like, she was kind of on with that too.
yeah. All right. So I know we had the opening montage of a bunch of different villains. Who do you think was wasted the most?
Tombstone. I mean, because I remember him on Black Lightning, and he did great in that show, and I was thinking he's going to be a bigger part of this movie, but I mean, he was just there for the comic cover. I was like, damn.
He played Tobias Whale in Black Lightning, didn't he?
Mhm.
I thought I recognized him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which basically he played the same character. I mean,
Pretty much.
Tombstone's
yeah.
very similar character.
I think Scorpion was the most wasted.
He got the most.
He actually
screen
got
time.
action.
But as a character though, like he when he's in the suit fighting Spider-Man the second time, it's not Scorpion. It's Jean Grey.
What about Ram Man or Ramhead or whatever his name is? The guy that got his head thrown into the brick wall.
I I didn't know he was in the movie. Like I think it was so
Or was that
bad.
Masters of the Universe?
There was
Ram Man and Masters.
yeah, I mean,
What's the guy's name that got his head rammed through the
I don't
wall?
remember.
yeah,
I know it's the comic cover. That's about all
I feel like it's like Ramhead or something.
Oh, Fisto.
Ramrod?
Ramrod. Is it Ramrod?
Maybe.
sure.
I
Anyway,
mean, at first glance, I thought that was Rhino, but I know that wasn't Rhino because
No, it
that's
definitely
obviously
wasn't.
not Rhino.
but you're talking about what character was in the movie that was wasted?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna be controversial here. Jean Grey.
Yep.
Wow.
I get that she's just now learning her powers and she doesn't even realize the extent of them, but I feel like with knowing what we know she can do, and I feel like she was a little wasted.
But she was rather evil in there because we've never really met a Jean Grey in any sort of cinematic form before Professor X. So, and I mean, even in the comics, like you introduced, she's like, this is Marvel Girl or whatever her name was back then. And I thought of, because I remember this movie, was like, is her evilness just like the Phoenix Force peeking out a little bit?
Yeah.
Or
Because
was she
funny-
evil? Was she evil, or was she just doing what she needed to do to find her family? Because
She
I mean-
possessed the guy and then made him get hit by a taxi. That's pretty evil.
Should have got out of the way.
Yeah. And also what she did to Peter when she was in MJ's body, that was pretty evil.
Manipulative.
Again, back to no punishment for her actions.
Yeah.
yet. I'm
But
gonna keep saying
Yet doesn't matter for this movie.
Yeah.
And I will say, then you bring in superpowers. What laws do they have, and how can you prove that you were possessed by a telepath? Let's get Matt Murdock on that.
I wish he'd have been in the movie.
And I think that was a little bit of my disappointment. Was like I was reading fan theories and stuff beforehand. It's like, oh, he's gonna break Daredevil out of prison. Spoilers. And then I was waiting for
Why
it.
is Daredevil in prison?
Daredevil season 2 once again.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Did he just walk in? He didn't know where he was at.
No, it was Kingpin in season 2 was like, no more vigilantes. And then they took Kingpin to court and Matt was deposing him and was like, yeah, you murdered those people because I was there because I'm Daredevil, pretty much. And so they arrested him for being Daredevil and threw him in jail along with.
Yeah, he pulled the Iron Man card.
So if they're arresting vigilantes, why is Spider-Man working with like the police captain or police chief or whoever that lady was?
Because this takes place after Daredevil, so they probably repealed the law because Kingpin's no longer in power.
Well, see, now we're getting into another topic, but also, yes, Kingpin's no longer in power, but at the same time, Daredevil was arrested after Kingpin was taken in or banished. So why is Frank Castle still walking around, you know, no mask on and not being taken away? That is
I
actually
mean,
one thing I was thinking about, but then I kind of forgot about in the movie.
Well,
But
because the cops loved Punisher. They love Frank Castle.
no, the vigilante task force did, not the cops. And technically, Punisher is still, doing things his way, man. So
I do feel like Punisher became a surrogate father to Peter, though, which I saw somebody post like the saddest part about Punisher is like, he's a great dad and he's a great dad to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
so more like a big brother, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
The
But
whole you
it-
can't drink coffee without your mask on scene was kind of
Yeah. I mean, I did love the like, Frank, you don't have this, you don't have that, you don't have this. Yeah, dude.
I got all
What?
that shit.
Bombs.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah. Like, don't eat the chili. Don't eat the chili.
Damn, now I'm
But that was
hungry.
some bomb chili.
Yeah.
Why was Florence Pugh heavily involved in the movie?
because nobody watched the last movie that they screwed up with Thunderbolts, and they had to shoehorn her ass in.
So she
I
was.
think it was
Little
I think it
bit.
was Marvel's
Little
way
bit.
of letting people know that okay, yes, Avengers are in New York and we do save things, but we're gonna leave this to you because this is street level stuff. Another thing with MCU trying to push too many characters into the movie, but I think that was basically her was being in this was to explain that like literally like she said, these are small potatoes, so you handle these, we handle the big stuff, even though Spider-Man's
But
done
the
into space.
Hulk being involved is not small potatoes.
And also, it's a
Rather
government.
large potato.
It's a government building under attack. That's not small potatoes.
Again, this is what I'm saying that why she was in the movie. Not I didn't write the movie. I'm just saying that's how they're gonna try to justify not having the Avengers, come help and stop Jean Grey taking over half of New York.
Because that was my first thought. I'm like, okay, like in my head, it would have made sense for them to come help, like at least get Hulk under control. But I'm glad they didn't, because again, I wanted it to be a Spider-Man movie, and in my head, I'm thinking, oh God, are they going to try to force the Thunderbolts on us in this movie? And I'm so glad they didn't. I mean, again, the only way Spider-Man beat the Hulk is because he's like, "Remember me? I'm your friend Peter." And
Which
Hulk's like, uh.
did
And
did
Which
did
the
they?
Hulk remembers. Bruce Banner doesn't.
But
The
did they
Hulk-
ever meet?
They had to have met some point.
Like the
He's-
first
he's-
time they
he-
would have.
He's
First time they would have
Bruce
met would have
Banner
been
before.
Endgame in the
But then
battle.
that's another thing. Why would the Hulk remember? Why would he be? Why would the spell not work on him, but it
because
worked on everybody else,
because the spell went against Banner, not the Hulk.
not the Hulk?
It's the human side that it affected.
And that they have addressed that in the comics.
Yep.
So the Hulk actually remembered
The
him.
Hulk remembers Peter. Yes.
Oh right, Badger. What is the big thing that we haven't talked about?
The fact that little Tony Stark Jr. has become traditional Tony Stark Jr., where he creates his enemies and problems now, and this tech that he used to suppress his growing arachnid
Yeah.
genes is now going to be turned into the probably those collars for the X-Men to control their mutant powers or dampen or turn off their powers in the future. Because I'm pretty sure Damage
Well,
Control still has that technology, still has that information on how to do that, and they're going to use that for stuff.
That's what I was going to say. I think it's more on damage control than anything at this point.
They're going to
Well, and the
expedite
guy-
the future past it.
The main guy got away too, didn't he?
He's in the run, yeah.
So, uh, I had one thought. Why do you guys think Jean could get in everybody's mind except for Spider-Man?
Spidey sense, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing when Doctor Strange knocked him out of his body.
So
Involuntary.
I didn't know if it was the Spidey sense related or if it was more because of the whole spell that happened. Somehow his mind was extra protected from Doctor Strange from the spell.
Yeah.
But that might be stretching.
I don't know.
Also, I didn't know why that when he was getting stronger arachnid powers, like that was causing him to not see or sense Jean being in other people as much. Which because he before he started transforming, he was "Hey, you're not you. Who are you?" And it's like, "You can see me." But then as his powers got stronger, or his headaches, I guess, okay, that makes sense. His headaches grew, and then he couldn't see Jean anymore.
Yeah, I think it
I
was
guess,
sensory overload.
yeah, that's why. Okay.
Well,
I mean, but once he, accepted the fact that he was half spider, half human, he kicked the hand's ass.
100%.
kick the hand's ass.
Yep.
With his foot.
Also,
With his foot.
they were pretty badass.
They were.
Yeah.
But again, they
So
were under control of Jean Grey. That wasn't
that's
really
true.
them.
I was gonna
And-
say,
but I
but
mean,
talk
even-
about being underutilized. I feel like they were underutilized.
Wholeheartedly.
And
And-
yeah, it was only 6 of them as compared to like probably the
Oh, there
50
were a
of them
lot
that
more
are
than
actually
Hundreds,
seen.
thousands.
Yeah.
And I just love how at the beginning of the movie, when they're like showing the Spider-Man news, they're like, and he even like, I'm a news reporter, and Spider-Man has defeated the evil Ninja Clan in New York. I'm like, what is going on? Like, people just accept there's an evil Ninja Clan in New York.
I mean, wouldn't you?
After everything they've seen, yeah, they're gonna be like, "Oh, evil ninjas, are cool."
Aliens, ninjas, okay.
Yeah. We're because I've seen speculation that Spider-Man would turn into the four-armed or the spider. Were you disappointed that it didn't go that way?
No, not at all.
Actually,
Yeah,
glad
well-
it did not.
Yeah, I hated that one, like an animated show as a
It was
kid.
weird.
Yeah, but
It's just odd.
he did accept it, like because he was having trouble with his arachnid DNA, and at the end, just like, you can't be Spider-Man or Peter Parker. Yeah, I can. Problem solved.
Both.
Well, he was just struggling with, duality. He couldn't
Yeah.
decide where he wanted to be.
To my heart.
Okay, well, and I think this is the biggest question. How did we feel about the MJ reveal? Or MJ realizing who he is and reading the note.
You mean at
Like,
the moment where she
for
said,
this-
I don't love you, but I can understand
That
what
also-
you did." Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to me,
We knew it was going to happen. It's just a
Yeah.
matter of where and when.
Yeah. Like you sort of, it was this train crash you saw coming that you didn't want to happen. And like we all knew that she was going to find out. I mean, they check off gun the note, which is like, if you show it, you're going to use it. And it's like, as soon as he left the note to go deal with whatever, I'm like, he left the note. She's going to find it. And yeah, like in that moment when she's like, you didn't make, you made that decision for me. I should allow, like, how did that scene roll for you guys?
to me, I
Like,
immediately
was there some
thought-
part in the back of your mind where you're just like, she's gonna say yes, I remember you, I love you, or whatever?
I didn't think she was
So,
going to.
but it,
But to me, I think what's going to happen is, so my whole theory is that in the third act, when Jean like possessed half of New York or half of that portion of New York, like the spell cracked for them a little bit. She's slowly going to start to remember that Spider-Man, they know Spider-Man, Spider-Man is Peter. But in the time it takes for her to remember that, Peter's going to have a new love interest show up in the next movie. That it's going to be a stupid at last love triangle, probably again. Because he's had other, love interests in the story. And
so are you thinking Ursula or Gwen Stacy finally coming out?
I don't know. But also, no one's talked
Alicia.
about the fact that Cindy, who plays Silk, has been in 3 of these movies already. Like, she was the person in Banner's class that asked the question about the Avengers and Thanos not, if he was so worried about population, why didn't he just make more food? Like, she's a main Spider-Man character.
Is she the one that wears the like mask like
Yeah.
that? Okay.
Yeah.
And I was really worried this was happening. I'm glad they didn't. And I was like, please don't let Spider-Man and Jean Grey have a thing, because she
What does
still looks
it
like
look
she's
like?
15.
That also brings up another strange predicament, because when they do introduce the X-Men, is Wolverine still going to be, pining
Old
over
as
that?
shit.
They're gonna
Like,
have to,
The X-Men movie is going to have to be like 10 years from now. in actual
or
time.
they just get a new Logan, which I hate to say that, but
They are.
one that's in his 20s that's playing a 18, 19-year-old.
And
I
it
can do
needs to
that.
be comic accurate, short ass Logan, is all I'm saying.
I can do that because I'm comic accurate height. Actually, I might be a little taller than him, but
You are.
Feige
And if you
cast
grew your
me.
hair out, you'd almost
Oh,
have the Wolverine.
The Wolverine Pro.
because it comes out up here.
You'd be like Don King.
He'd look like Krusty the Clown.
No, I'll go more with
Maybe
Homer the
Homie the
Clown.
Clown.
See, there you go. We don't
Oh
play
man.
that.
Anyway,
Anyway, but yeah, I'm glad they didn't do the Jean Grey Spider-Man, like, you know.
I felt going back to the note and the reveal. I felt the reveal was a little anticlimactic, but again, we all knew it was coming at some point. It's just like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a big surprise. Like, oh, she found the note because they left the note late. I mean, he already got caught with the note once. If you get caught with the note once, you burn that shit. Like he wanted it to get found. I mean, otherwise he wouldn't have carried it around and everywhere he went and be like, oh, don't read that over there.
Yeah.
So I felt like the note was a plot device to push the story forward without making the characters actually talk to each other, which I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah. And I mean, he did put a big emphasis on, I can't take off my mask. I can't show anybody. So,
Yeah.
Well, I thought the whole reveal of the note was going to happen when he was sitting there tinkering on the other side of the little drop curtain, and she was getting down. I thought that's when it was all going to come to light. But
But I'm not gonna lie. Part of me, like, I knew what was gonna happen. I knew she was gonna be like, I don't remember you, I don't love you. Like that hurt to see him go through that.
yeah,
But I'm not gonna lie, part of me was sitting there hoping that like what Flash Man was just describing, she's on the other line while he's tinkering and she's reading the note as she's talking to him and she's slowly like remembering and falling back in love with him. Like I'm not gonna lie, I'm like that would have been really awesome to see,
well,
but that's not real life.
I also think that she was starting to feel comfortable, I'll say, when she was sitting there drawing while Ned and Spider Man were sitting there building Legos.
that was a great scene too.
It was. It really was.
And she barely saw his face and she got that
Remembered.
down really like perfectly.
Yep.
Yeah. And then, I mean, she gave it to him in the hospital that you didn't see off camera, but does that
But
mean
again,
that?
could that have been muscle memory
What scenes made you tear up?
when he was in his underwear?
I believe it. I believe
No,
it.
no, tear up, obviously the Mary Jane scene, I don't love you,
Yeah.
for reasons.
Yep.
Just that I hurt for Peter on that. That's really the only that was really the only one. Him getting shot at the end, I'm like, okay, well, yeah, he sacrificed himself, but he's gonna be fine. He's Spider-Man. Spider-Man's not gonna die.
Well, that is the most male thing we can agree with. It's like we can take a bullet wound, but we can't take those few words.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think the scene that really got it for me because it also like snapped me back to a movie from 25 years ago. The scene with Jean and Sarah when she's actually getting abducted and then Jean's going for her, but she stops her and then they do the telepath where you can hear her saying sorry, Jean. That took me right back to the original X-Men movies where I was like, damn, I feel like a kid again because I know what I'm hearing that again and I connected that and like, oh wow. But then also the impact of her stopping her sister. I was like, damn, this sucks.
Did she have a sister in the comics or
Yeah.
in any of the other movies?
But she did not have powers.
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
Her sister did not have any powers.
Yeah. Well, and what do we think about the VMAX reveal? Because she's like VMAX, and it's just, oh.
Well, that's what I was about to say. The VMAX reveal is actually what made me tear up when she realized that her sister was dead.
I got one thing to say about VMAX. I did not see that coming. I thought it was going to be
No,
some
I
kind of
didn't
like
either.
serum or code name for somebody or
I
something.
thought it was a prison or something, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah. I did not see that coming, but Spider-Man's assistant is named Eevee, and in the new Pokemon games, Eevee VMAXes to get really big. Somebody there is a Pokemon fan.
Very much
Just gonna
so.
put that out there.
But also, side note, I was thinking when the first time I heard her say, "Where's B Max?" I was like, Wrong franchise, girl. You're not looking for Beckman anymore, Max. Come on."
Look at the compound V.
When she started rolling her eyes in the back of her head, I was like waiting for her to start levitating up.
But since we know Spider-Man is really
Peter
up on his
Parker.
pop culture, and I mean, he works with Mace Windu, but he knows Star Wars. Like, would he have watched Stranger Things and be like, "Man, this girl looks like Max from Stranger Things"?
Problem.
No, because Netflix doesn't exist in that world because
How
they're
do
a
you know?
competitor to Disney.
Ah,
Exactly.
They're a competitor to Disney.
yeah. But can you imagine if Spider-Man met Jane Foster and was like, "Hey, you look like Padme"?
Okay, so I'm
That
not
would be fun.
when they first showed her sister from like the side for a brief second, I thought it was what's her name?
Millie Bobby Brown?
Yeah.
That would have been kind of a one-off cool thing.
And then I was gonna be like, what?
What? What movie
Did we
is
jump
this?
universes?
Well, it sort of reminds me of that meme that came out that's like it's from Justice League animated series where Batman's talking about something and then John Stewart just walks up and goes, "I've seen Stranger Things." What else is there that we need to discuss with brand new
The,
game?
the very
The
end
after credit scene.
Oh, I was hoping for more, but like, is it going to be Battle World? Is it going to be Secret Wars? Is it
I
the
think
Well,
incursion for Doomsday?
I think it's definitely the setup for Doomsday, but I think it's going to be Tobey Maguire coming back for
because
Doomsday.
if you remember in the thing, it said Spider-Man detected it. The blimp didn't disappear.
Mhm.
It just moved and found another blimp. So it's another
There
Spider-Man.
were 2 Spider-Man blips. Yep.
It
Yeah.
could be an incursion. And I don't remember the cast list for Doomsday, and I don't know if Tom Holland's on it, so I'm not going to ask for an answer on that just to avoid spoilers for GL.
Yeah.
I
do
did
think that
see the
there will
chair
be a
trailer.
yeah, I do think there will be a Spider-Man in Doomsday, but I don't think it's gonna be a Tom
Maybe it's Peter Porker.
or Spider Noir.
Any of them. I'd be happy.
It's a clue.
Whoa.
I I really hope it's Tom Holland. He has grown on me as a really good Spider-Man. Like I might like his Spider-Man better than Tobey Maguire.
Oh,
Yeah.
I definitely like his better than Toby.
I would almost second that for you guys, but I'm gonna still say Toby's my guy, only because Tom has had a hell of a lot more screen time. If
Deeper story. I mean, I'll say that.
yeah, I don't disagree with Tom being a good Spider-Man, but to me, it's still Toby.
See, I
Well,
like
yeah.
Andrew Garfield.
I like Andrew
I
Garfield
think-
too.
I liked
think
his
he was
more
the
than
best.
Toby.
I think he was the best. I
Peter.
guess Peter, yeah. And then Toby was still for me the best Spider-Man, but Tom is definitely gonna go down probably in the Hall of Fame eventually.
Tom
He's gonna be
Tom sold it for me in was it Infinity War? One of the Infinity
Oh God, now he's freezing.
Wars. When the snap happens and he's starting to
Deteriorate.
Yeah. No, your fans moving. We can tell you not frozen.
damn it.
Wow.
Nice.
Don't tell me somebody didn't believe me for a second. But damn, the
You
fan
were
did give it
very-
away.
Yeah, you were very still though. I was like, how can he be frozen but his fans moving?
Even I was wondering if I was frozen. Um, but no, Tom sold it to me, and when the snap happened and the disintegration, and like right before he disappears, he goes, "Mr. Stark, I don't want to go," and like he showed that vulnerability. That sold it for me.
Same. Very, very true.
One other thing,
Where's
he
Miles?
I'm telling
He-
you, I picked out Miles in like 5 scenes.
well,
He's
like
in that
every
movie.
time a young person that looked like they fit Miles's role showed up on the
That
screen,
young black man.
I'm like, is that Miles?
Miles?
I pointed,
no,
I pointed at Badger at one point and said, "You're in this movie. See the little guy?"
I was like, I could be Miles if they don't let me be Logan. So I'm up
I,
for
I
either.
was disappointed we didn't get a nod at Miles or anything.
I don't think the world's ready for that.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Talk about Spider-Man. I think Miles is a better Spider-Man than Peter Parker.
Ooh, hot take.
Just saying.
All right, bros. That was our take on Spider-Man Brand New Day. Have you seen it? When will you see it? How many times have you seen it? Please like, comment, and subscribe. Flip that like button. As always, I'm Hokey Joker.
I need to be in the MCU movie soon. MCU movie soon.
I'm the Hulk.
Redbeard.
And until next time, guys. Whip.